Good Monday afternoon, Houston. I'm KUTU 11 meteorologist Kim Castro. Today is another extremely hot day. Not just talking about actual air temperatures, but the heat index value. Humidity is still really high. So what temperatures feel like is going to be an important thing to track. Right now, we just learned that Heights High School, their AC went out. And so the students were having to stand outside for a little while. We just received word that the high school is going to close down for today. And it's no surprise. Look at our neighborhood weather network showing Rutland Street, so that's near Heights High School. It's really between Rutland Street and East 7th. It's on 10th Street, I believe. This just gives you an idea of how hot it is outside. So nevertheless, it would be much hotter inside the classroom without proper ventilation. 98 in Rutland Street, 100 for East 7th Street, and some spots are getting even hotter than that. So we're just past 1230 right now, and Sunset Boulevard is at 104 for the feels like value. Rice Boulevard at 101. 101 for Southern Oaks too. Temperatures versus the heat index. A lot of us are going to touch that 100-degree feeling today. If not, you're going to get really close. I think Bush Intercontinental Airport gets to a high temperature of 93 degrees at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but the feels like value gets up to 98. Notice, even as we go through the evening, as temperatures start trickling down into the 80s, the heat index is not going to drop that much. So it still feels like 96 degrees at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It still feels like 90 at 8 o'clock. By the way, the sunset time for today is going to be 8:11 in case you want to catch that. There's something else that we got to talk about. It's not necessarily going to bring us tremendous impacts here in Houston, but it is going to bring us concern for our neighbors. Already there have been devastating storms in Dallas, and there's a chance for severe weather again today. It's all because of this big rotating low pressure system that's in Nebraska and even in the Dakotas. It's dragging in this front and already sparking up some severe thunderstorm warnings along the front. You'll notice for Oklahoma, radar is picking up on hail at least 1 inch in diameter and wind at 60 miles an hour. Now there's also the threat for rotating wind today. So that particular zone, Oklahoma into Kansas, Arkansas, portion of Missouri under this threat level 4. So that's about as close to as high as you can get for severe weather. We don't get to a level 4 or a level 5 too often. Dallas under a big threat today too, level 3, and then the threat diminishes the further south you go. Waco's under threat level 2 for severe weather. I'm showing you this in case you have any relatives along the I-35 corridor. Austin and San Antonio, it is a low threat. It's a 1 on the 1 to 5 scale. We don't have a threat for severe weather today or tomorrow. Tomorrow, the severe weather potential shifts northeast, so it'll be mainly for Tennessee from Memphis to Nashville and beyond. We get the tail end of this front. So what it means for us is that we will be tracking a couple of showers, but pretty early on in your Tuesday. I don't think it's going to be something that most of us even notice because a lot of us will be sleeping. So between 5 to about 8 o'clock in the morning, that's when I'm expecting those showers to push through the area. And then this front kind of just wipes away the cloud cover and some of that humidity. So I think the latter part of your Tuesday is actually going to be pretty nice. Expected rainfall is actually a good thing, especially in central Texas. That's where we've got some of the worst drought right now. And even our western cities and counties could use from a good healthy downpour, maybe 1 to 2 inches of rain with this front that pushes in tomorrow. And let me show you why it's a good thing. West Texas all the way to central Texas, San Antonio, Austin area under the worst drought, exceptional. And then if you get a closer look at us, you'll notice Washington, Austin, Colorado, Wharton under at least a moderate drought, and even a portion of western Colorado County already starting to get into that severe drought. So if we could get some rain to move into the area, that would help suppress that drought from expanding. Humidity is also going to be something that's impacted by this front, at least momentarily. We'll take what we can get. Today and tomorrow, for the early part of tomorrow, will be really humid. Those dew points in the 70s, very tropical feel. Behind this front, which is a weak one, we will see a nice drop in humidity. So your Wednesday dew points are going to be in the 50s, which means the air is really comfortable. Enjoy that. Enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy it, because for the rest of the week, those dew points are climbing right back up, and it is going to start to feel humid again for the end of the week. Here's a live look outside right now. You can kind of feel and see that it is humid for this afternoon. Air temperature right now at Bush Intercontinental Airport, 89 degrees. Dew points in the 70s is that tropical feel. So 89 actually feels like 95. The breeze is pumping in pretty strong out of the south-southeast, sustained at 16 miles an hour, but those gusts are strong, and it is doing something to the coastline. You'll notice those waves are pretty choppy. We advise not to get in the water today. So that person right there, we're going to advise you to not be in the water because there is a high rip current risk. I know it's counterintuitive. It's really warm outside. You want to jump into a body of water. Well, today you have to be really careful because waves are at 4 to 5 feet and the breeze is strong, 25 to 35 miles an hour for Galveston. And that's just sustained wind. I think some of these gusts, right now the sensors out, are getting a little stronger than that even. Inland wind is strong too. Hobby Airport clocking in a wind gust right now at 30 miles an hour, 26 for Bush, and even in Conroe getting close to 30 miles an hour right now. So that is going to have an effect on how it feels on your skin. So 93 degrees for the high temperature this afternoon with that strong breeze. Actually feels closer to 100. By 8 o'clock, when you're enjoying that sunset, remember it's at 8:11, you're still in the mid-80s. And then even by midnight, 81 still feels warmer, feels like about 85 degrees. How cool do we get overnight? Not that cool. In fact, temperatures area-wide are going to either be in the mid-70s to even 80 degrees. I actually think Bush doesn't drop down below 80 for that overnight temperature. I think overnight we make it down to 75 in Huntsville. And then tomorrow is going to be the hottest day of the 7-day forecast. Why? Well, because that front sweeps in early on in the day and we wipe it with a cloud cover and we drop some of the humidity, dry air heats up faster. So I think the actual air temperatures skyrocket more than they have the last few days. So I think our high temperature tomorrow actually makes it up to 99 degrees. That's going to be in Houston in Spring. Sugar Land at least 96 degrees for tomorrow, 96 in Pearland. If you live in Conroe, maybe you exceed the century mark. Your forecast is 101 degrees. There's still going to be some humidity in the air, so it is going to feel hotter than that, but I think the real thing to watch tomorrow are actual air temperatures. Feels like temperatures, though, in the triple digits for a lot of us. 103 for Rosenberg and for Houston, 105 for Angleton. Notice a lower feels like value the further north you go because that's where the drier air will be. Remember, dry air means we lose the heat index, but we hike up the actual air temperature. So 95 for the feels like because of the nice, more mild air in place, 95 for Brenham too. We're still going to be tracking above average temperatures through the end of the month. So this is through May 29th. But something that's a little bit different that we haven't seen the last few climatological outlooks is the rain potential. Now we are starting to increase a little bit of moisture and the chance for some rain, which is great news. Again, for the drought monitor, we get the new one released this Thursday, and I think we're going to see some significant changes because now it's been at least 2 weeks where we haven't seen any considerable rain. Above average rainfall expected for a portion of Texas. Even Houston has at least a chance to see some above average rain, and so that's going to be some good news. We do have some of those rain chances already in the 7-day forecast tomorrow from the weak front, maybe an isolated passing shower possible Thursday, and then some coastal showers likely for Saturday and Sunday. So keep that in mind if you had any plans to head to Galveston this weekend. You might have to factor in a few showers closer towards the island. Okay, temperature-wise, the 7-day forecast, one day really jumps out at us, and it's tomorrow for that 80-degree start and 99-degree high temperature. That is considerable heat. Notice behind it, though, the drier air. Oh, man, Wednesday's going to be gorgeous. Not only a cooler start in the upper 60s, but lower humidity. Enjoy that, even though it's still hot. It'll be far more comfortable without it being muggy outside. Back to muggy and warm though Thursday, Friday, and even into the weekend. All right, enjoy your Monday. Please stay safe and stay hydrated.